Tracy in Canada, America's Hat. How are you doing? You're talking to Eric and Jenna.
Hi, Tracy.
Hi.
Hello.
So I called like 2 weeks ago and talked to Eric and, what was his name?
Drew?
Genetically Modified Skeptic.
Drew, yeah.
Yeah, Drew. Yeah. So anyways, I have a question that will hopefully be quick, but it's not as emotional as a question as last time.
Sure.
So, okay, so I know I said before I was raised fundamentalist, but about 7 years ago or so, I converted to Catholicism. Mm-hmm. And so I actually had a question specifically for Jenna because you said that you were formerly a Catholic. Mm-hmm. So one of the things that had drawn me to Catholicism when I converted was that they claimed that they had this unbroken line from from Peter all the way to the present day in the bishops and popes and that. Mm-hmm. When you're deconversion, did you come across anything that kind of was able to contradict that, or?
As far as a specific line, yeah, I'd been told stuff like that my whole life about how Catholicism was the only religion that began and has never changed and is consistent and just always makes sense all the time over thousands of years, and that you can trace it back all the way to Jesus. I've never seen any evidence for it. It took me probably 10 years of questioning to start loosening up the idea of a sky daddy. But help me out.
Sure. So I didn't grow up Catholic. I was baptized Catholic.
Really?
And what I learned about the Catholic Church that really blew my mind was that there were times that they got together and voted on the Bible to change it. And they've done that multiple times. And so you have the Councils of Nicaea and the Council of Trent, where they decided what books go in and out and how it's translated. It was translated specifically for King James. And there were significant differences. There have been differences from those to the others. And so the claim that it's unchanged, like in the light of all of that evidence, I don't know how you could still make that claim.
So what I was told was that it took that many people to determine accurately what God wants and what he meant by what he said in the Bible. And it takes so much time and so much practice of being spiritual and being connected to God, and you have to get all of those men all together to figure it out. And they have
to be men, damn it.
Yeah,
yeah, of course.
And
those
you have
penises,
to ask
they're
them
like
because
antenna.
We can't know. We are incapable of knowing. So those are the only people that we can go to ask. That's what I was told.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. It's the idea of an ultimate authority that really, I think, is what I resented and resisted as a little kid and all the way up until now, is the idea that one person has the ultimate answer, that anybody knows ultimately what is right and wrong. I've been searching for that, and it's like every time we got a new priest, and somebody had mentioned, why do you keep getting new priests? And they had told me that it's because they had to keep rotating people so that nobody got too attached to one priest.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'm actually starting to second guess the reasoning for that after finding out all the sex scandals. But anyway, it's the idea that I can't know for myself. I can't decide for myself. I have to ask somebody else that I couldn't get behind. And so now that's why I'm here, is because I decided that the people that I was asking were giving me conflicting answers every time. I would experiment. I'd ask this priest or that priest, and they'd get different answers. And it didn't make sense.
Yeah. I know for me, like for a time, it was actually attractive to have just like one source of answers because, growing up, I was like the bane of the pastor asking all these questions. And then I just kind of, when I got older, I was like, just stopped asking questions. And but
wouldn't it be nice if somebody just had all the answers?
That would be nice.
Wouldn't that be cool?
But, being part of the LGBT community kind of, makes me question about what Christianity says, right? Because they're all like, oh, it's a sin, blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
So.
Well, they were at the church I went to, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Catholics are not quite as hard on that as like some of the fundamentalists are. They're like, well, it's a sin, but as long, or if you act on it, but not if you think it or something. And
I think that there can be extreme fundamentalism in any religion.
Yeah, and
very true.
And Catholics used to be a lot more hardcore.
In general.
Yeah.
In general. My family is pretty hardcore.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Do you have any other questions?
No, actually, I just wanted your thoughts on that because I'm kind of like almost at the point where I'm ready to call myself an atheist, but I'm not. Like, I still have a few random questions here and there, so it's
Do you
kind
want some advice?
Yeah, did you want to throw them out there?
Yeah, actually, that would be great.
Yeah, what's up?
So what I did was I came down to it and I was like, I believed in something. I know there's something, and I don't know what it is. So I had a friend that wanted to take me to a mosque. And I was like, you know what? That sounds really cool, and I'd be really open to that because I don't know what's true. So I'm willing to go and explore all the other religions. But there's so many, and before I really get into looking into all of them, how about I start from square one? Let's figure out if I believe in a God at all, and then I can start exploring and going with my feelings and what feels more right, and then figuring it out from there. And so all I did was I was like, I want to hear both sides of the story as objective as possible. I want to know actually what's true and not just what I should believe or what anybody thinks I should believe. I want to know what's true. So I Googled atheist versus theist debates on YouTube, and there are hours. I just listened.
Yeah, I've watched some. I even watched Eric's debate. So
Hey!
Cool.
Aww.
But just look at it from different perspectives. Don't just pick one person and only hear their side. Listen from different religions, different atheists, just get as many kinds of perspectives as you can, because what I realized very quickly was that the theist side was the same over and over and over again. It was the same argument, and it failed every time I heard it. And I started realizing that it just didn't make sense. After hearing what the atheist response was, I was like, oh my God, that just makes so much more sense. And that's when I started exploring, okay, so if this makes sense, but I was told that that's not true, then why does that make sense? And so I had to explore more. Why does anything make sense?
Yep.
Or not?
yeah.
We can go into that, but you get to explore and come back when you find something and we can talk more about it.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, thank you. I will definitely do that.
Cool.
Can I throw in one too?
Yeah.
Hey, hey Tracy.
Yeah.
There are people that I know who, if I were to write down everything I think about religion, would agree with me on 100% of those things, that don't call themselves atheists because they don't like the word, regardless of what you call yourself. I was afraid for a while because I thought it would make me a different human, that I would somehow change, my character would change. And it took me recognizing that I'm still the same person. I still love my family. I still have the same values. And that's okay. And it took a lot of that for me to recognize that change, or just saying I'm an atheist, wasn't going to magically change me, but it was just identifying something that was already there. And whether or not you decide to make that choice, you still belong here. And you don't have to call yourself an atheist, but if you walk into these doors, you are fucking welcome to be here. You're welcome to have a drink with us and eat with us and spend time with us. And no one here is going to judge you. No one here is going to make you feel bad about it. So just so you know.
The cool thing is that I've actually become a better person, because my reason for being a good person isn't because I was told to. It's because I decided to.
Yeah. I mean, like, because part of the reason why I'm saying about, whether to be or about saying I'm an atheist or not is because I want to live as, like, it's going to sound weird to say it this way, but I want to live as one person, not as, like, over here with these people, I'm like the good Christian girl. And then over here, I'm like the, I'm the pro-choice, lesbian, whatever, right? Like, I want to be one person, not like, you know, I'm one person here and one person there.
You deserve to get to just be you. And that's why we're doing this, is because we want you to be able to do that.
Yeah.
So keep doing you and keep learning, keep asking questions and keep exploring and ask different people and just keep going.
And demand good answers out of things, because you deserve them. You don't need to put up with bullshit responses. You get to understand the world around you. And the most exciting piece is when nobody knows, because that means we've got more to learn. And that just makes the world more exciting.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Big hugs. Take care.
Hey, you too.
All right, bye.
Bye.